From Delhi, and also joining us from outside the Apex Court right now is Anane. Let's go across to Madhurima first. Madhurima, good morning. We understand that the Home Ministry has now set up a three-member committee to look into the lapses. Give us more details about what this committee has been tasked with. Will they only be looking at lapses that were there perhaps from the security establishment, or also look at larger angles?
Well, good morning to you too, Nupur. And yes, of course, this particular panel that has been constituted by the Ministry of Home Affairs here at the National Capital will definitely look into all the certain angles because it is about the security breach of the highest office, one of the highest office of our country, that is the Prime Minister of our country. And the incidents that were recorded on the January 5th were unprecedented and cannot be pardoned, which is why this particular committee has been formed by the MHA. This comes just a day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi briefed about the entire account of the events of that day to the President of our country. So taking serious cognizance, the MHA has formed this particular committee because there are many angles to it where the DGP is not coming out in the clear and the responsibility is being pinned on him. Then we talk about the stand of the Punjab government and the way the Congress party leaders behaved following this particular unprecedented event happened when the Prime Minister was stranded for 20 minutes. It's all very catastrophic. And then we saw the video of how pro-Khalistani people were making for the Prime Minister of our country, following which the Samyukt Kisan Morcha also came forward and distanced themselves from the people who were there on that flyover that day. They said that they had no intention of barring the Prime Minister's route. So all that needs to be taken in count, all the angles will be taken in count, and then a solution, and it will be found out as to what was the real reason. Was it just lacuna and lackadaisical approach of the Punjab police and the Punjab government where they failed to attend to the Prime Minister of the country where there such a security lapse was happening, or was it a larger conspiracy as we are getting the exclusive since yesterday and we are panning out and we are researching on ourselves as well. So all those angles need to be probed, Nupur, and rest we'll have to wait and watch as to what this committee really brings out in their research. Nupur.
All right, stay with us, Madhurima. Let's also bring in Anane now. Anane, there is a petition that's been filed before the Supreme Court, and we understand that some bits of it talk about there being a larger conspiracy. Give us more details.
Well, yes, a petition was mentioned before the Chief Justice's bench yesterday itself. The Lawyers' Voice organization led by Senior Advocate Maninder Singh had mentioned the matter before the Chief Justice's bench, which had assured that the matter would be heard today, tomorrow, that is today. And now at 10:30, the bench would be taking up this matter. And remember that the Supreme Court bench led by CJI N.V. Ramana, also comprising Justice Suryakant and Justice Seema Kohli, had yesterday only asked the petitioners to serve a copy to the Punjab government, and now it would be very, very crucial to see as to what the Punjab government would have to say in its preliminary submission and what kind of an order, Nupur, comes out when the matter is heard. But however, the petition has clinching claims, and in fact the petition claims that the Punjab police was in connivance with these protesters in order to breach the security of the Prime Minister. Not only this, but the petition also alleges that this is one of the biggest attacks on a highest constitutional post in the recent years, single biggest attack. In fact, it also goes on to say that the Punjab police was, in fact, a part of the hooliganism that had happened and which caused the breach to the security of the highest constitutional office of the country. In fact, the matter would now be heard by the bench of the Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, also comprising Justice Suryakant and Justice Seema Kohli. And we'll have to wait and watch as to what the Supreme Court has to say and what kind of orders would the Supreme Court pass after hearing both the sides in the case. Because remember that the Punjab government would be defending its stand, saying that it has no role to play. In fact, it will also be defending the Punjab police, saying that the Punjab police had nothing to do with this and there was no lapse on the part of Punjab police. However, the petitioners in the centre, if it comes in, would also be blaming the Punjab government, and we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens when the matter comes up for hearing at 10:30 before the top court's three judges bench led by CJI Ramana. Back to you, Nupur.
All right. So what we are understanding is that there are two aspects to the this news piece right now. One, of course, the MHA has in fact formed a three-member committee which will be looking into lapses from the security side. But the other part of it, of course, is where the action now moves. That is the Supreme Court. That the Supreme Court is to take up the plea on the breach that took place.